Did you know that by the time you reach your 70s, you may have lost up to half of the muscle mass you had in your younger years? This isn't just about feeling weaker. It's a condition called sarcopenia, and it quietly robs millions of older adults of their strength, balance, and independence. Over 50 million seniors are affected by this condition, and every year more than 300,000 are hospitalized due to falls caused by muscle weakness. But here's the surprising part. A recent study published in a respected medical journal has proven that muscle loss is not an inevitable part of aging. Some people in their 70s and 80s remain as strong, mobile, and youthful-looking as they were in their 50s, while others struggle just to get out of a chair or climb a flight of stairs. So what's their secret? The problem is that 93% of older adults don't know which habits can stop or even reverse muscle loss, and most doctors never talk about it. But research from my clinic and Harvard Medical School confirms that there are simple daily actions that can restore muscle mass and bring back strength, even in advanced age. Unfortunately, most people make the same mistake every day, a mistake that quietly accelerates muscle loss. The good news is, this mistake is easy to fix, and fixing it could be the difference between staying active and independent, or relying on others for basic tasks. In this video, we'll share 7 powerful habits of seniors who have managed to stay strong and active for decades. These are people who still go hiking, play sports, and outperform younger adults in strength tests. But before we start, give this video a like, subscribe to Healthy Old Man, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Let's dive in. Habit number 7. Hormetic stress, finding strength in small discomforts. Most people believe aging automatically equals weakness, but what if the problem isn't time but too much comfort? One of the most powerful ways to preserve muscle after 60 has nothing to do with pills or protein powders. It's called hormetic stress, short bursts of controlled stress that trigger the body's repair and renewal systems. Examples include cold showers, sauna sessions, or brief periods of fasting. You've probably felt this before. A cold shower that wakes you up, or the surge of energy after a sauna. That's not just a feeling, it's your cells switching on repair mode. Here's how it works. Short doses of stress, cold, heat, fasting, activate the body's protective mechanisms. These mechanisms preserve muscle, improve mitochondrial function, and stimulate hormones that make your body feel younger. Even 60 seconds of cold water can raise your adiponectin levels, a hormone that helps protect muscle tissue. Finnish researchers have found that regular sauna use can reduce muscle loss in older adults by up to 40%. Intermittent fasting, simply eating, within an 8 to 10 hour window can improve muscle cell function by 10% in just 12 weeks, without dieting or losing weight. And a simple isometric exercise, like pressing your hands firmly against a wall for 5 to 10 seconds, can stimulate muscle growth almost as effectively as a full workout, but without putting strain on the joints. The key is balance. Too much stress can be harmful, but in the right amounts. It activates longevity genes, preserves muscle, and keeps you feeling strong. Sadly, many people avoid these practices simply because no one ever explained why they matter. Now you know, if you're over 60, a little controlled discomfort like cold water, light fasting, or short muscle contractions could be your muscle's best friend for years to come. And here's another overlooked factor: timing your protein intake. Everyone knows protein is crucial for maintaining muscle, especially as we age. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about when you eat it. As we get older, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing and using protein, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. That means simply eating a piece of meat isn't always enough to maintain your muscle mass. One of the most common mistakes older adults make is eating very little protein in the morning and afternoon, then trying to catch up with a big dinner. But this approach simply doesn't work. Your muscles can only absorb and use protein effectively for about 3 hours after a meal. If you eat just once a day, you lose almost an entire day's opportunity to maintain your muscle mass. The solution? Spread your protein intake evenly throughout the day. Aim for 25-30 grams of protein per meal. That's roughly the amount found in 100 grams of chicken breast or 2 medium eggs. Breakfast can include eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or a protein shake. For lunch and dinner, choose lean meats, fish, beans, cheese, or tofu. In a study at the University of Texas, participants gained 550 grams of muscle in just 12 weeks without changing their workouts, simply by eating the right amount of protein at the right times. And there's a bonus. This eating pattern improves blood sugar levels, reduces cravings, and even sharpens mental clarity, all things that often decline with age. If you're trying to eat healthy, don't let poor protein timing undo your efforts. With just a couple of simple changes, your regular breakfast, lunch, and dinner can become powerful protection for your muscles. Now, let's talk about a vitamin deficiency that affects more than 80% of older adults, and how this quiet shortage can slowly drain your strength. Habit number 5. Vitamin D, the silent muscle killer. When most people think of vitamin D, they think of bone health. But this essential vitamin plays another critical role. It helps preserve muscle strength as we age. Here's a concerning fact. Over 80% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D, and most don't even know it. Muscle cells have special receptors for vitamin D. Without enough of it, they can't fully repair, recover, or grow. According to a major study published in GRP Internal Medicine, older adults with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% greater muscle strength than those who were deficient. They also had better reflexes, improved balance, and a lower risk of falls, all key for staying independent. But here's the catch. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. By age 60, this ability drops by 50%. So even if you spend time outdoors, it doesn't guarantee you have enough. The recommended daily dose for seniors is around 600 IU, but research suggests this is too low for most people. Experts recommend aiming for closer to 2,000–4,000 IU per day, especially if you don't get much sun or rarely eat fatty fish and fortified dairy. One important note: if you take high doses of vitamin D, make sure you also get vitamin K2. Without it, calcium may end up in your arteries instead of your bones and muscles, raising your risk of heart problems. Vitamin K2 is found in fermented soy products, hard cheeses, egg yolks, and organ meats. Here's what you should do. Get your blood level of vitamin D tested and aim for a level above 40 mmol. If needed, take a D3 plus K2 supplement and include foods rich in these vitamins in your diet. Try to get 15–20 minutes of sunlight each day. This is a simple step, but it could be the difference between staying strong or slowly becoming weaker. Next, we'll look at one of the most overlooked causes of age-related muscle loss and how something happening deep inside your gut could be quietly draining your strength. Habit number 4. Chronic inflammation, the silent thief of muscle. When we hear inflammation, we usually think of pain, swelling, or redness. But the most dangerous form of inflammation is the kind you can't feel. It's called chronic low-grade inflammation, or inflammaging, and for older adults, it's one of the most destructive and hidden causes of muscle loss. Here's what happens. Over time, poor sleep, gut imbalances, stress, and even hidden food sensitivities can lead to a constant state of inflammation. You may not notice any obvious symptoms, but day after day, this inflammation chips away at your strength. Research from Tufts University found that older adults with high inflammation lose muscle mass 3 times faster than those with lower levels, even if they eat the same and exercise the same. Why? Because inflammation blocks the signals your muscles need to grow. It makes it harder to build new muscle and easier to lose the muscle you already have. But there's good news. The world's strongest, most active seniors all share one thing in common. They actively work to lower inflammation every day, and it all starts with simple habits. Sleep well, and give your body enough rest. Go to bed at the same time each night and keep your room dark. This alone can lower inflammatory cytokines by up to 40%. Support your gut health, since the gut is often the main source of hidden inflammation. Aim to eat more than 30 different plants each week and include fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut. Move every day, but do it smartly. Light activity daily and just 1 or 2 short, intense workouts per week are far better than constant heavy training. Include anti-inflammatory foods in your meals: fatty fish, omega-3 supplements, turmeric, berries, green tea, and olive oil. Your target is 2 to 3 grams of omega-3 per day. If you're not sure whether you have hidden inflammation, ask your doctor for a high-sensitivity CRP test, HSCRP. Super agers, those who stay strong well into their 70s and 80s, usually have a level below 1.0 mgl. Most people have 3 to 5 times higher levels and don't even know it. The lesson is clear. If your body is constantly fighting internal inflammation, even a perfect diet and exercise routine won't protect your muscles. You must put out the inner fire first, only then can your strength start to return. Now let's talk about a group of quiet but essential nutrients that work behind the scenes to keep your muscles functioning, and why a lack of them can cancel out all your hard work. Habit number 3. Micronutrients, your hidden muscle helpers. Micronutrients don't directly build muscle, but without them, your body can't properly use the protein you eat or benefit fully from exercise. Here's the challenge. Most older adults are deficient in at least one key micronutrient and often have no idea. Let's start with one of the most important minerals, magnesium. Often called the forgotten electrolyte, magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions related to muscles, including energy production, contraction, and recovery. Yet more than 70% of older adults don't get enough magnesium. In one study, seniors with healthy magnesium levels had 30% stronger grip strength and better overall physical performance compared to those with even a mild deficiency. To raise your magnesium levels, eat more leafy green vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, and yes, even a little dark chocolate. Next is creatine. No, it's not just for bodybuilders. Creatine helps your muscles store energy and improves both strength and brain function in older adults. A daily dose of 3 to 5 grams of creatine has been shown to increase muscle mass, boost strength, and even enhance cognitive performance, especially when combined with strength training. Then comes vitamin B12, a crucial nutrient as we age. Why? Because your body's ability to absorb B12 drops significantly with age, particularly if you take proton pump inhibitors or metformin, 2 very common medications among seniors. Vitamin B12 supports nerve health, energy metabolism, and muscle signaling. The most effective form is methylcobalamin, methylated B12, which works better than the cheap synthetic form found in many multivitamins. Don't forget about other key micronutrients. Zinc supports muscle repair and immune health. Selenium protects your muscles from oxidative stress. Chromium improves insulin sensitivity, helping nutrients reach your muscles more efficiently. A long-term study from Tufts University found that older adults with optimal micronutrient levels maintained 22% more muscle mass over 5 years, compared to those who were deficient. So what should you do? Don't guess. Ask your doctor for a micronutrient panel to spot deficiencies. Prioritize whole, nutrient-rich foods and take supplements wisely, not excessively, based on your actual needs. Because no matter how perfect your workouts or diet may seem, you'll never unlock their full benefit without these behind-the-scenes nutrients that keep everything running smoothly. And now, get ready for something fascinating, the surprising connection between your brain and your muscles. And here's why maintaining one very specific connection might just be the real secret to staying strong, coordinated, and independent well into your later years. Habit number 2, protecting your brain-to-muscle connection. Most people think muscle loss is simply about shrinking fibers or not lifting weights often enough. But what if the real issue isn't the muscles at all, but the ability of your nervous system to control them? This is exactly what science is now discovering. The connection between your brain and your muscles, known as the neuromuscular junction, plays a massive role in keeping you strong, balanced, and independent as you age. Here's the challenge. Once this connection begins to weaken, and it happens faster than most people realize, no amount of protein shakes or gym sessions can completely restore your lost strength. Think of these connections like electrical outlets. If the wiring is damaged, it doesn't matter how powerful the appliance is, the signal just won't get through. But here's the good news. New research shows that there are proven ways to protect and even rebuild these neural pathways, helping older adults remain strong, mobile, and mentally sharp. So, how do superagers keep this connection alive? First, they train for coordination, not just strength. Activities that require precise timing and accuracy, like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong, challenge the brain and nervous system in ways that regular walking or weightlifting cannot. In a 2020 study, older adults who practiced coordination-based exercises twice per week preserved their neuromuscular connections 31% better than those who only followed traditional strength routines. Second, they nourish their nerves with targeted nutrients. Compounds such as alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine have been shown to protect neuromuscular synapses from oxidative damage. Active forms of vitamin B1, benfotiamine, and herbs like hypericin have also been found to boost acetylcholine, the key neurotransmitter your nerves use to switch on your muscles. Third, they stimulate their vagus nerve, a surprisingly powerful tool for restoring brain-to-muscle communication. Simple breathing techniques like box breathing, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, have been shown to increase parasympathetic activity and improve neuromuscular signaling. Just 5 minutes per day of these breathing exercises can raise neuromuscular activation by up to 15%, according to recent studies. Finally, they keep their minds sharp. Cognitive decline and muscle loss often happen together, which is why protecting brain health is just as important as protecting muscle strength. That's because the very same neural networks that handle thinking and memory also play a crucial role in controlling movement. In fact, a Columbia University study found that older adults who regularly challenged their brains with complex tasks, like solving puzzles, learning new skills, or playing memory-based games, maintained significantly better neuromuscular function compared to their peers. The takeaway is clear. While most fitness advice focuses only on the body, superagers know that if you don't train the brain, the muscles won't follow. And here's the best part. These habits are simple, enjoyable, and can be done right at home. No gym membership, no fancy equipment required. Now, let's talk about what researchers call the single most powerful anti-aging habit, one that has been called the closest thing to a real anti-aging drug. And no, it's not what most people think. Habit number 1, progressive strength training, the ultimate anti-aging habit. If there is one single habit that separates strong, independent 80-year-olds from their frail, sedentary peers, it's this one. It's not a supplement, not a superfood, not even long walks, swimming, or yoga, though those are great too. The real game changer is progressive strength training. Researchers at Tufts University even call it the closest thing we have to an anti-aging drug. Here's why. After the age of 30, adults lose between 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade, and this process accelerates dramatically after 60. But it's not just about looking toned or performing better in the gym. Losing muscle means losing strength, balance, mobility, metabolism, and ultimately independence. And here's the most overlooked truth. Muscles don't stay just because you're active. To maintain them, and especially to grow them, you have to challenge them. That's where progressive overload comes in. Superagers follow 4 key principles. They focus on intensity, not just movement. A short, well-structured strength session done with real effort produces far more benefit for aging muscles than hours of light activity. In fact, studies show that just 2 weeks of properly performed intense resistance training can produce greater muscle gains than 5 weeks of moderate exercise. The goal isn't to lift the heaviest weight possible. It's to safely work the muscle to fatigue with good form. When you reach the point where you can't complete another repetition with proper technique, that's when growth begins. They prioritize compound, full-body movements. Instead of focusing on isolated exercises like bicep curls or leg extensions, superagers choose movements that mimic real-life actions: squats, or simply standing up from a chair; push-ups, even against a wall if needed; pull-ups or banded rows deadlifts, or safe hip hinge movements. These multi-joint exercises engage more muscles at once, stimulate more hormones, and build the kind of functional strength you actually use every day. Using the same light weights forever simply won't deliver results. Super active older adults keep track of their workouts, even if it's just quick notes in a notebook, and they aim to do a little more every single week. They add extra repetitions, slightly increase resistance, or extend their time under tension to keep challenging their muscles. Especially during the lowering phase, called the eccentric phase, they move slowly and with control. This slower pace creates more tension and stimulates greater muscle growth, all without overloading the joints. It's one of the safest and most effective ways for seniors to build strength. And here's the exciting part. Even people starting strength training in their 70s or 80s can see dramatic improvements. A 12-week progressive strength program helped older adults gain over 1.3 kilos of lean muscle and increase their strength by 35%. According to researchers at the University of Alabama, building stronger muscles also improved brain function, made bones denser, and even improved blood sugar control. And all of this came from just 2 short sessions a week. Yet, many older adults avoid strength training because they think it's too dangerous or not meant for their age. But the real danger is not doing it, because without strength training, muscle loss is inevitable, and with it comes frailty, falls, and loss of independence. If you adopt only one habit from this entire message, let it be this one. Progressive strength training is safe, accessible, and life-changing, no matter your age or starting point. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. A qualified trainer, a physiotherapist, or even a knowledgeable friend can help you start safely and confidently. So there you have it. 7 powerful, science-backed habits that help older adults not just survive aging, but truly thrive. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, it's never too late to become stronger, sharper, and more independent than you were yesterday. Aging does not mean slowing down, not anymore. When you follow the science, you can train smarter, eat better, and live stronger, one step at a time.